going on, guys? 46 show back at it. Haven't made a video in like 3 weeks. Wanted to make a video Friday. Didn't really get to it. Had to work. I work 2 jobs right now. But like I said, I'm going to try to follow, South Carolina baseball as much as I can. And just post my videos about them. I do have a schedule preview here. Wrote down the schedule for South Carolina right here. And I have kind of, right now, just eyeballing wins and losses and stuff like that, and where I think, South Carolina football stands right now. And but let's kind of start with baseball for a little bit. I want to end with football, talk about Dylan Stewart being on the cover of NCAA Football 2025. And, yeah, just dive into it. So, baseball, obviously, right now has beat everybody but Clemson, right? And they lost to Oklahoma game 1, beat Oklahoma yesterday. Today, big game. Would love to see them win this series. First SEC series of the year. And it's starting off with a pretty solid team in Oklahoma who's ranked 12th in the nation. So it's not like we're playing scrubs here. This is SEC baseball. This is basically like a minor league, conference here. So, but love to see the bats got going in the second game. Bats did not get going the first game. And that could be a problem going forward, right? You face the number 1 pitcher. The bats aren't hot against number 1. Against number 2, they're pretty good. Number 3, we will see. Today is in the rubber matches today. But, yeah, South Carolina baseball, definitely not your father's South Carolina baseball. Has a lot of work to go here. We're just got to, Paul Mainieri's got to build the program right. South Carolina baseball is going to get back to where they belong, and that's the top of college baseball. The facilities are there, the history, the tradition of South Carolina baseball, the state of South Carolina baseball producing a ton of talent, obviously in baseball and in football too. But, yeah, so that's the baseball team. Really, Ethan Petrie's a stud. Pitching is, pretty solid. We have beaten the teams we're supposed to beat, and that's really all you can ask for sometimes. But could be some growing pains going forward. But I really would like to see them win this series against Oklahoma. That would be huge for the team. Ton of confidence going forward. And just in the SEC, man, you got to take the series wins you can, because you're going to play some absolute stacked teams. So get this win against Oklahoma, who's a very good team, and maybe going forward, we can beat these guys. We can compete. We can do this. So that's more of the baseball there. I'm just going to brush on that. Let's talk about South Carolina football. And I'm just going to do a schedule preview here. No predictions, but the ceiling for South Carolina football this year is 11-1. Okay, in my eyes, that's the ceiling. Lenore Sellers is an absolute freak of nature. I expect him to take off and just put up numbers because the wide receiver position this year is improved. Okay, we are not stacked, but there's a ton of depth. Mazio Bennett's going to take another step. Nick Harbor, does he take a huge step? Donovan Murph, a couple other freshmen. Jaden Sellers coming in. Lenore Sellers' brother. You don't think he's going to be a stud? Come on. All right, we got some dogs. Defensively, we did lose a lot, but we also got the transfer portal. We got guys coming up. We got young guns coming up. Our secondary is going to be disgusting. I know losing Nick Imandwari is not great, but I really think our defense is going to be pretty good. Dylan Stewart's an animal. We got the transfer from Missouri at edge, transfer from A&M in the D-line. What's his name? I'm losing his name. I will get it back. Brian Thomas Jr. Kid is a proven good player, so he'll only get better, and I expect him to be drafted next year. But like I said, ton of star power on South Carolina. We're starting to get, A-level talent, B-plus talent, and some A-plus talent with Sellers and Dylan Stewart. South Carolina traditionally, for those who, are not into South Carolina football, kind of following me, South Carolina football traditionally, we get if we got a B-plus, A-minus talent, that was huge for us. Because usually South Carolina's got C-plus, B-minus, B talent. And it's just the truth, man. South Carolina traditionally, slightly above 500, occasionally gets a stud that we develop or something, but never really had the talent that obviously Bama has, or even Florida in their heyday, or Georgia now. We don't get the guys that they get. Sometimes, some years we have a good year where a guy steps up, but rarely do we get the star players that we're getting now, right? So, like I said, floor 8-4, ceiling 11-1, and a playoff bid. I think we go 11-1, 10-2, we're in the playoffs. 9-3, just like last year, not getting in. So I want a playoff berth. I think we can make a run. Do I think we can win a natty? I don't know. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. Obviously, we're not going to go there. But week 1, though, we are in Atlanta playing Vatech on a Sunday. Vatech is Virginia Tech, for those who do not know that. Going to be a tough game. Strap up your helmets. Get the shoulder pads ready because it's going to be a fight, man. Vatech is coming in, and they're not bad. They are not a bad team by any means. Everyone's like, oh, ACC's terrible. Listen, Vatech, it's going to be a game, okay? We got to really come prepared to play. Beamer cannot have any slow starts. Last year, barely beat Old Dominion. I was like, wow, we are a terrible team. But as the year went on, we got better. So, yeah. No. Should beat Vatech, but like I said, it's not going to be an easy game. Is this thing? It's a neutral site, but it's just not going to be an easy game. They get a whole time to prepare for South Carolina. So what are they going to do on defense? The same thing Illinois did, right? They're going to travel on our Sellers. They're not going to let Sellers run around like a madman like Clemson did and all these other teams, just got exposed kind of by the Illinois Sellers. They're going to try and trap him there. Sellers needs to be efficient. Sellers got to work on his accuracy. He's got to hit boom, boom, boom. Slants, okay, read 1, 2, 3, hit the man that's open. He's got to get better at that. The talent of Lenore Sellers is incredible. It is massive. What he could do if he puts everything together is astronomical. But will he put that together? Will he go from, being a very good player to an elite level player? That's the thing we don't know, but it will be very important for South Carolina going forward. Important's not the word. It'll be necessary for South Carolina to make the playoffs for Lenore Sellers to take that next step. South Carolina State will beat them. That's home at Williams-Brice Stadium. And then next game is Vanderbilt at Williams-Brice Stadium. Diego Pavia is like 30, but he can play a little bit. Vandy's going to be tough, man. There's really not a lot of games besides like Coastal and South Carolina State that are gimme games. Like every game, you should beat Vanderbilt, right? That should be a win. And I do have it marked as a win. But you should beat Vanderbilt. Missouri away is not easy, and that's the next game because it's away, and that's a house of horrors. Farrell Field, we struggle there all the time. So I don't know how we will fare in Missouri. But I think we're the better team, and I think going forward that they will be the better team, but that's a question mark there. If we win that game against Missouri, I will have full confidence that this team is different, okay? We're not going to lose these games. We're going to beat these teams down, okay? And that's what we got to do. So Missouri, that's a game you really got to watch. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that one. Draw a little eye here. Keep my eyes on that one. Eyes on the prize there. Kentucky at home. Listen, they got a pretty good quarterback coming in. Zach Calzada, former A&M quarterback, transferred to a smaller school. Not exactly sure where he went. And then he kind of fell off the map, honestly. He beat Alabama. For those who do not know, Zach Calzada beat Alabama in 2021. That's the last time A&M beat Alabama, but he did beat him. So Zach Calzada got some talent. Kentucky has him transferred in. He's better than Brock Vandergriff. If Kentucky does not fix their O-line, they're going to have problems with South Carolina's front four, with the D-line. But it's home. Got to give it to the Cox, man. The Cox should win that game. So not going to draw an eye because I don't have my eye on it, but I do think it's going to be a tougher game than people think. All right. But we should win that game. So we should be going into LSU undefeated. And that'll be College game day most likely. And listen, man, if it's a night game, Howard, listen, we can take – I will not be upset. Obviously, I'll be upset if we lose. But if we lose that game, I'll be like, okay, I can take that loss. Because that's a place where teams' dreams go to die. And that's why it's called Death Valley. That's a tough game. Definitely got to circle that. You want that game. And if you're Shane Beamer, last year's loss to LSU, you better remind the players who were there, hey, man, we lost these guys last year. No one thought we were going to be in the game because no one knew how good South Carolina was. And we should have won that game, barring some questionable calls. But like I said, man, just keep my eyes on that. A little here schedule preview more. Oklahoma at Williams-Brice Stadium. Not going to be an easy game. Like I mean, there was not an easy game on this schedule. Wow. Yeah. We have a tough road the next game. So it's home at LSU, home against Oklahoma, home against Bama, at Ole Miss, home against A&M. Right there, this is make or break. I'm going to bracket these games here. You have 5 games within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are going to make or break your season. Can South Carolina go 3-2 in those games? That's huge there. Because you go even 4, we need to go 4-1. You want to make the playoffs, go 4-1 because the last game of the year is against Clemson. So those are the 5 games that are going to make or break your season. You cannot afford a loss in the first 5 games. Okay? Got to be 5-0 going into that. And those 5 games there are going to make or break your season. Oklahoma, like I said, man, they got a transfer quarterback in John Mateer. They're going to be better. I know they're losing Stutzman, but Oklahoma was down last year. I doubt they're as bad this year as they were last year. There's too good of a program, recruiting too well. Oklahoma will not be that bad. South Carolina will win that game in my eyes, but it's not going to be easy. Alabama at home, homecoming that week. Let's go. Okay? We're going to win that game. All right? Not going to be easy, right? Not going to be easy, but we win that game. I'm confident. Homecoming, black uniforms, it's over. All right? We're going to come out. We're going to stomp on their throat. All right? And everyone thinks I'm crazy saying that. It's true. It's homecoming. Just like A&M last year, we're going to beat the brakes off Bama at home. But like I said, that's definitely not a game you want to play. But I think we'll beat the brakes off them just because all the hype and all this stuff. At Ole Miss, not an easy place to play at all. There's 3 hard road games. Well, 3 extremely hard road games with at Ole Miss, at A&M, and at LSU. And Missouri is an underrated. I mean, the environment's not great, but it's like we just struggle there. Just like we struggle at Kyle Field. So Ole Miss on the road and then A&M on the road back to back. Not going to be – it's a terrible stretch, honestly. I don't know how South Carolina every year gets the schedules, but that's a terrible stretch for them. Yeah, they really got to be locked in from there. At A&M, insanely hostile environment. A&M at this point will probably be – they're choke artists, so their season will be over, but they're still playing. They're not a bad team by any means. So I don't know how that game's gonna go. It's too early. This is like a way too early kind of like just overviewing the schedule here, just to let you guys know. And then home against Coastal, we'll win that game. We should overpower them. Our star power is insane. Coastal doesn't have the horses. It's not 2020 anymore for all you Coastal schmucks. They ran in your mouth before. Coastal's we should beat the brakes off Coastal. And then Clemson at home. Listen, in the last 4 meetings, the road team has won. Hopefully it changes that game, but Clemson's stacked, man. Like we're playing some legitimately like really good teams this year. Alabama's good. Ole Miss, Clemson, A&M's going to be good. LSU, Nussmeier coming back, slinging that thing. Vatek's good, and there's tough games. So if I was to break this down right now, I'm going to say gimmies are Coastal and SC State and South Carolina State. Those are gimmies. Should wins. There's no other gimmies, but should wins are Vandy, Kentucky, Missouri, Vatek, Oklahoma, and that's really it. Right? There's 5 games right now that I think could go either way, and those 5 are LSU. I'm going to put Clemson, A&M, Ole Miss, and LSU, Clemson, Ole Miss, and Bama, right? The other games you should win. You should beat Oklahoma, you should beat Missouri, you should beat Vandy, you should beat Kentucky. That's 4. Then you got Clemson, SC State, and I'm missing some. Oh, Virginia Tech. So you should be Virginia Tech, Vandy, and Kentucky, Missouri, and Oklahoma. And then gimmies are Coastal and SC State. So 7 wins automatically, then 5 games that make or break your season. And there's a block. There's a block of games that make your season. But these 5 games are going to make or break South Carolina. LSU, Clemson, A&M, Ole Miss, Bama. Right there. 5 major games. You got to win 3 of those. Got to win 3 out of the 5 there, okay? And you cannot lose a game that you should not lose, right? South Carolina cannot mess this season up. Shane Beamer, you're the man for the job. I believe in Beamer. But this is what South Carolina needs to do, in my eyes, to make the playoffs and have a good season. I think the floor is 8-4. I think the ceiling is 11-1. Anything below the floor is anything below 10-2 is disappointing in my eyes. And that's the first time you can say that in South Carolina history in, like 11 years. 11 is 24. I'd say 12, 13 years, and they went 10-2, 3 straight years. So, and it was disappointing because I thought we were a much better team than that. And we did lose some games that we shouldn't have lost. But, long story short, preview. Not a set prediction. I'll have a set prediction as, closer to the season, but it's only 24 Saturdays, so college football, guys. Who's counting? I am, because college football, one of the greatest times of the year, I believe. Football season is just a great time, but college football trumps the NFL in my eyes. I think it's just better. But that's me. Let me know what you guys think. I will try to get, I do, baseball. Like, I do follow, Carolina baseball. But maybe I'll dive into them more. Just let me know what you guys want to see more. Obviously, got to cover the football team and just where we are. Maybe, talk about Williams-Brice Stadium, the upgrades that are coming to the stadium. But there's really not much to talk about for football besides, just a quick preview. I wanted to get this out there. But like I said, let me know what you guys want to see. And if you have not, subscribe, like this video, follow my channel, Instagram. We're at the 46 Show. I do post on my personal Instagram because that's where I have more. I do have a good amount of followers on there. So I want to get my videos out there. And, that's really it. But hope you guys have a great weekend. St. Patty's Day is tomorrow, so hopefully you guys are having a good time. Responsibly, okay? No drinking or driving, please. But, yeah, that's really it. Anyways, you guys have a great weekend. 46 is out.